Hey, Shane here from Shane Morn Fitness. Gonna run through shoulder external rotation, PAILs and rails. So external rotations from the side is obviously rotating up this way. So what we want to do first is get into an external rotation stretch, and then we'll do our PAILs and rails. So to do that, use a stick. You get a broomstick, whatever you want. You can do this seated, you can do it half kneeling. I like to do things pretty simply, so I just sit down on the floor. Considering we're going to be doing this for a period of time, I actually like to get seated. So you can have your arm in front of you and rotate this way, or you can have your arm outside to the side and then rotate backwards, whichever you're most comfortable with. I'll have your arm, your upper arm at horizontal, and then roughly a 45 degrees at your elbow. So all you're literally going to do is put the post or the stick underneath your tricep, wrap around and hold it. You may just be at this point. Find whatever stretch is good for you. Slide up, down, so you're at horizontal with your arm. Put this in the floor and you now have a stretch. It is that simple. You can now hold this. So get to your stretch. I'll do it out to the side. Get to your stretch and hold here for 2 minutes. I'll do this from the side for you, might be a little bit easier. So get into your stretch position. You're gonna hold this for 2 minutes. After the 2 minutes is up, you're gonna pack your air, big breath, brace your core, and then the first movement is the progressive isometric loading, which is I'll be trying to push my hand towards this pole. So if that post wasn't there, I would be rotating back this way. So once again, 2 minutes is up. Brace my core. You can hold here if you like, or obviously just wedge it in the floor, whatever's easier for you. Brace your core, pack down, and then push. So gradually you're just going to ramp up. So we're just going to start at 20% intensity, pushing in, up to 40%, to 60%, up to 70 and 80%, and then up to 100%. Safely, obviously. If you're programmed 100%, then go safely. Even if you program 60-70%, go to your safest, greatest effort based on what you're programmed for. So we're going to be pushing in for 30 seconds. After that 30 seconds is up, we're going to reverse direction. So I'm going to try to pull my hand that way. Now I'm not going to go. What I want you to do is actually be aware of what happens with your hand. A lot of people, as they try to rotate more, the hand will go. That's not your shoulder. So don't cheat with your hand. Try to think about pushing your wrist backwards. Now I'm not going to be able to get past here probably because I've stretched into my passive range. So I'm going to keep going here for 20 to 30 seconds or whatever you're programmed for. And then once that's done, I'm going to have a rest. I'm going to rest in this position. I'm not going to come out of the stretch. I'm just going to rest in this position until I've recovered enough, 30, a minute, 2 minutes, recovered enough to be able to do it for the same period of time at the same intensity, and do that for 3 sets. And that is your shoulder external rotation, PAILs and rails. One thing I will point out is just be very careful because you are using your rotator cuff and everything in the back of your shoulder. So lots of smaller muscles in here that aren't used very often. So just be uber careful or extra careful with this one, and make sure you're staying within your safe range of motion. Outside of that, enjoy your new shoulders. Bye.